Hello there. So I'm cleaning up my Vision, which is, I don't know if you can see here and bits under here, has had a little encounter with a soggy field. Mainly pilot error, it has to be said, but we'll gloss over that. And I was just coming in to sort of knock some of the muck off it and generally sort it all out when I got an email through from somebody who asked me, in my opinion, whether or not they should buy a Vision or a Phantom 2. And I thought, well, do you know what? I'm actually going to make a video about that because it's going to be a lot easier for me to speak than it is to type it all up. And other people might value an opinion like that. So I'm not going to review the Vision. You've all seen the reviews by now, much more professional than I could ever do it. Tripods and crews and external, filming and all that in-flight stuff, yada, yada. I'm not going to do that. You know by now, I think, what it does. I think maybe the question is, there's two Phantom 2 models available, which is right for what sort of person. Oh, and by the way, before I get questions about it, I'm such a professional that I did at least realize that I have got my mobile phone number printed on here in case I lose it or it loses itself. Pro tip for you, that's a good one. But I'm also a complete unprofessional, which is why I've just stuck a piece of paper over it. Because I love you all to bits, but not enough to get phone calls at 3 in the morning. No offense, but anyway, so, okay. Who do I think should or shouldn't buy a Vision? If you're a pro photographer, a professional photographer, and you're looking to add photography to aerial photography or videography to your portfolio that you can offer clients, don't buy this. Move on now. I love my Vision for my purposes, but I'm not a pro, and I wouldn't. No, the camera isn't professional quality. The gimbal isn't really, let's not call it a gimbal. Let's call it a servo-operated camera mount, because it does a very little bit of stabilization in pitch. But other than that, you'll get wobbly videos. Look at some of my other videos. I'm very happy as an amateur with those, but you wouldn't give those to a client. So if you're a pro looking to get into, into AP and AV, don't buy this. Simple as that. On the other side of the spectrum, if you're a bit of an old hand in the RC aircraft scene, if you are a very experienced tinkerer, you own several soldering irons, you like kind of modding and changing and tinkering and pimping up your aircraft and all that kind of thing, but you wanting to get into quads and looking at this as a first step, I would also suggest you will not be particularly enamored with the Vision because it's kind of designed to be a finished article. It's not very moddable. Everything is enclosed. It uses a proprietary battery, so you ain't going to be able to use any of your existing lipos, which I know is, if you've got a stock of those, there's a significant investment in those that you won't be able to use. So I don't think you guys, unless you have a particular reason that I can't think of right now, I don't think you guys will appreciate this. Having said that, there are some diehard modders. If you go to phantompilots.com, the forums there, or RC groups, there are some diehard modders who are starting to modify not so much the Phantom, but certainly the controller, the transmitter, and the video extender to push the range. So that's potentially quite interesting. So there may be a bit of scope for modding, but certainly not compared to some of the open frame style quads that you can do whatever it is you want to do on. So those were the two main groups that I would say a definite no. The other group of people who I would turn away from getting a Vision is the middle ground. So you're not pros, but you want to but you want to produce some the best looking video you can for the price. No, don't get this. Especially don't get this if you've got a GoPro already. The GoPro is a better bit rate on the video. and I'd use that. Thank you again, Daisy, on cue. I'd use that and either mount that onto a Phantom 2 or, So it sounds all a bit negative, and I'm doing it down. But as I said, I love it, and I'm not. If you have some or no experience in RC, if you want to get into quads, if you want to take the sort of equivalent of being a happy snapper, if you're a point and click on your mobile phone type of person and you're happy with that and you want a totally different view of the world, then brilliant. The fact that it actually uses your smartphone, you can see what it's seeing, you can change the settings in the air, like the ISO and the white balance, you can take a shot, you can take a video, you can go back and take another still. The app tells you exactly how much battery you've got, how many satellites you can see, what's going on. I think it's fantastic because it's all out the box. You can get some of those telemetry and first-person view things from the Phantom 2, but you will need to buy additional bits and either pay someone to install them or install them yourself. And so, I think there is definitely an element of ease of use, and there will be a compromise. There's got to be, and the compromise is going to be in the video stability and the quality of the camera. Having said that, there are currently two that I'm aware of, two third-party companies making brushless two-axis gimbals that use the existing camera. And I'm kind of tempted, I must admit, because having seen some of the stabilized footage, it's quite addictive to want to get that. But I will let them be produced first and see how the reviews come in on those. So that would be my recommendation. Is this is a compromise between, and I think DJI did quite well, the strapline, your flying camera. It is neither a top-end aircraft nor a top-end camera. It is a flying camera, and therefore if that's your target and you're happy with the compromise that it sits in the middle, I think this is fantastic. Absolutely fantastic. Very easy to fly. If you've never flown a remote control before, this will flatter you out the box, because once you've got over the initial nerves, if you just let go of everything, it stays where it's put. It's like a well-trained dog, isn't it, Daisy? Yes. And so I guess what I'm saying is go into it with your eyes open. I know there are some professional photographers who've been very disappointed with the quality of the camera. They were led to believe, perhaps from the marketing, that it was a higher quality than it is. I know some sort of pro RC guys who are disappointed with the flight performance. It's a compromise. I've been out today. I have 2 batteries. I flew 2 20-minute flights. Had a prang. Nothing's broken. Well, one prop, but everything else is fine. It needs it's a sturdy aircraft, and if you sit in that middle ground, then I think this is ideal. If any of the things I mentioned are going to bother you, walk straight away and go and look at things like a Phantom 2 with a Zenmuse gimbal and a GoPro, or look at some of the other options out there, possibly the more sort of open frame type ones. I hope that's helped. It's been a bit of a random waffle, so I know most of you have probably switched off by now, but thank you very much for your comments and questions that come in. And I will do my best to answer. I promise I won't do a video for every question I get, but I just thought it was going to be easier to do that. So I'm off to go and knock some mud off and feed the dog. So thanks for watching. Bye-bye.